Did you know that one of the oldest and most complete Bibles in the world, with texts older than those found in many Western versions, was banned? The Ethiopian Bible, rich with unique scriptures and profound wisdom, posed a significant challenge to the status quo. Let me take you to the highlands of Ethiopia, where towering mountains and ancient monasteries cradle one of the most fascinating spiritual treasures in human history, the Ethiopian Bible. This sacred text, written in Ge'ez, the liturgical language of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, is not just another version of the Bible. It includes books long excluded from the Western canon, texts that offer new perspectives on creation, the divine, and humanity's relationship with God. But why was this unique Bible, with its origins dating back to at least the 4th century AD, deemed dangerous enough to be suppressed? What forces worked to silence a text that could have reshaped Christianity as we know it? Today, we dive deep into this mystery, exploring the historical, political, and cultural forces behind the ban, and why this ancient book still matters today. The Ethiopian Bible, also known as the Ge'ez Bible, is older than many other versions of the Bible used worldwide today. Its roots trace back to the 4th century AD, when the Kingdom of Aksum officially adopted Christianity under King Ezana. This made Ethiopia one of the first nations in the world to embrace Christianity as its state religion, even before the Roman Empire. What sets the Ethiopian Bible apart is its content. Unlike the King James Bible or the Catholic Bible, which contains 66 and 73 books respectively, the Ethiopian Bible contains 81 books. These include the Book of Enoch, Jubilees, the Book of the Covenant, and the Shepherd of Hermas, texts excluded from most Western versions. For example, the Book of Enoch, found in the Ethiopian Bible, provides vivid accounts of fallen angels, known as the Watchers, and their forbidden interactions with humans, including teaching forbidden knowledge like metallurgy and astrology. The story's vividness inspired works of literature like Milton's Paradise Lost, and continues to intrigue theologians and historians alike. Another example is the Book of Jubilees, which expands on the Genesis narrative with detailed accounts of patriarchal stories, a unique chronology, and additional laws. This book bridges gaps in biblical storytelling, but was sidelined by the Council of Nicaea in AD 325. The Ethiopian Bible's comprehensive nature gives it an unparalleled depth, but it also made it controversial, a threat to the unified narrative sought by Western Christendom. The banning of the Ethiopian Bible was not a singular event, but a culmination of various factors, including theological, political, and cultural concerns. During the early centuries of Christianity, church leaders sought to establish a unified doctrine. The Council of Nicaea in AD 325 played a pivotal role in determining the biblical canon. Texts that were not aligned with the agreed-upon doctrine were labeled apocryphal and excluded. The Ethiopian Bible's inclusion of texts, like the Book of Enoch, challenged the orthodoxy established by the Roman Catholic Church. For example, the Book of Enoch speaks about the punishment of the Watchers, celestial beings who defied God's order. This narrative was perceived as subversive because it questioned hierarchical power structures and suggested that even divine beings could face judgment. Furthermore, political powers feared the Ethiopian Bible's potential to inspire rebellion. The Book of Jubilees emphasizes adherence to divine laws over human authority, a message that resonated strongly with oppressed communities. Colonial powers and Western missionaries often dismissed these texts as heretical to prevent alternative interpretations of Christianity that might empower the colonized. The suppression wasn't merely about theology. It was about controlling narratives that could challenge both spiritual and temporal power. Colonialism played a critical role in shaping perceptions of the Ethiopian Bible. During the late 19th century's scramble for Africa, European nations invaded and divided the African continent, imposing their languages, cultures, and religions on local populations. Ethiopia, though never fully colonized, endured relentless cultural and religious pressures, particularly from Italian forces during their attempts to occupy the nation in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Western missionaries dismissed the Ethiopian Bible as outdated, often replacing it with Latin or English versions of the scripture. These missionaries, driven by a sense of religious superiority, viewed the Ge'ez texts as incompatible with their interpretation of Christianity. For example, Italian occupiers attempted to undermine the Ethiopian Orthodox Church by introducing Roman Catholicism. They banned the use of ge'ez in church services and promoted Western doctrines that aligned with colonial interests. This led to the marginalization of the Ethiopian Bible as a tool of cultural identity. The erasure of the Ethiopian Bible was part of a broader attempt to suppress Ethiopian resistance and cultural sovereignty. Yet, Ethiopia's resilience became a beacon of hope for other African nations, symbolizing the fight against colonial domination. Throughout history, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church has been the guardian of the Ethiopian Bible, preserving its texts and traditions against all odds. The Church's monks and priests painstakingly copied manuscripts by hand, ensuring their survival even when external forces sought to erase them. One famous story is that of Debre Damo, a monastery perched on a mountaintop, accessible only by climbing a rope. For centuries, this isolated sanctuary served as a safe haven for priceless manuscripts, including ancient copies of the Ethiopian Bible. The monks at Debre Damo risked their lives to safeguard these texts, believing it was their sacred duty. When the Ethiopian Bible faced suppression, the Church took proactive measures to ensure its survival. Church leaders resisted attempts by colonial powers to introduce Western biblical translations, insisting on the authenticity of the ge'ez texts. Their unwavering commitment ensured that the Ethiopian Bible continued to be a source of spiritual guidance and national pride. The legacy of the Ethiopian Bible's suppression is felt even today. While the text remains central to Ethiopian Orthodox Christianity, its global recognition has been limited. Many Christians are unaware of its existence, and its unique books remain excluded from mainstream biblical studies. This marginalization has led to the loss of invaluable theological insights. The stories of Enoch and Jubilees, for instance, offer perspectives on divine justice, human free will, and cosmic order that could enrich contemporary discussions of faith and morality. For Ethiopia, the Ethiopian Bible is more than a religious text. It's a symbol of cultural resilience. Its continued neglect on the global stage is a reminder of the long history of cultural and religious suppression endured by the Ethiopian people. In recent decades, scholars and theologians have called for a re-evaluation of the Ethiopian Bible. They argue that its unique texts, such as the Shepherd of Hermas, offer insights into early Christian practices and beliefs. For example, the Book of Enoch's influence is evident in the New Testament, particularly in the Epistle of Jude, which directly quotes Enoch. Recognizing the Ethiopian Bible could help bridge gaps in our understanding of Christianity's formative years. Scholars also emphasize the cultural significance of the Ethiopian Bible, urging the global Christian community to embrace it as a testament to the diversity of Christian traditions. Today, efforts are underway to revive and promote the Ethiopian Bible. Organizations like the Ethiopian Heritage Fund are working to digitize ancient ge'ez manuscripts, making them accessible to a global audience. Grassroots movements within Ethiopia are pushing for greater recognition of the Bible as a cultural treasure. International scholars and theologians are also advocating for the inclusion of Ethiopian texts in biblical studies. Their efforts aim to ensure that the Ethiopian Bible is no longer sidelined, but celebrated as a vital piece of Christian history. The Ethiopian Bible story is one of resilience, resistance, and rediscovery. Its ban was driven by fear of alternative narratives, empowered communities, and theological diversity. Yet, the text endures, offering a window into a richer, more inclusive understanding of Christianity. As we revisit the Ethiopian Bible, we are reminded of the importance of preserving cultural heritage and embracing diversity in faith and history. What do you think about the Ethiopian Bible and its unique books? Have you ever encountered its teachings? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you're fascinated by ancient religious texts, don't miss our next video on the lost Gospels and their secrets. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into history and spirituality.